everyone! Welcome back to another semester at sea video. I've been getting a lot of questions just about semester at sea in general and like how to apply, how much it costs, just a bunch of random questions about the ships. Little update on me, I'm on day 12 of my self-isolation quarantine, so I'm almost done. My cat is right there. He like wanted to be in the video. Hi! I went on the spring 2020 voyage of semester at sea. I just got back like a few weeks ago. My voyage was kind of different than other voyages because it happened during the coronavirus. I made a video about it that I'll link below, but I feel like for the most part a lot of my information is going to be the same as other voyages because we had fewer ports, but in general like most things were the same. So the biggest question that I got was how much does semester at sea cost? And I actually have my computer right here and I have like the bill from a semester at sea so I can say like exactly how much it cost. Okay, so my tuition, and keep in mind this is before any kind of scholarship, $21,279. So that was tuition. My cruise fuel surcharge, which is like a charge that's added on for fuel, was $925. My cabin was $3,795, and that was the cheapest option. If you're trying to make semester at sea more affordable, I would really recommend getting a smaller cabin because you can get a cabin with a window and without a window, and with a window is like a few $1,000s more. So it makes a huge difference and you're honestly like never in your room. The cheaper rooms do fill up kind of fast, so I would put your housing preferences in as early as you can. I was also got asked a lot if I was getting a refund because we were supposed to go to 11 countries and we only went to 4, and then the voyage ended like a month early and we got sent home. We got refunds based on a prorated basis based on our rooms, so we got refunds for room and board for the month that we weren't there. I also got asked what is the application process like a lot. The application process is really simple. You just go to the semester at sea website, I think it's semesteratsea.org, and you go to the voyage that you want, and if you scroll to the bottom you can say apply now, and you make an account on the portal application website and you literally just fill in your information. You say your school, you submit your transcript, and then there's like an optional essay you can write. I would definitely recommend just writing the essay. It's pretty short, and then you submit your application. So there's no like interviews or anything. It's a very like simple, straightforward process. And I think there's like a $50 application fee, but a lot of times they'll have codes where the fee is waived. Like I'm pretty sure I applied for free. How hard is it to get in? So I don't think it's really a matter of it being hard to get in. I think it's more of a matter of applying early enough because it does fill up. I think most of the time there's a wait list, but people get off of the wait list. Like one of my best friends was like 160th on the wait list in November, and then he got on the voyage in like the middle of November, because a lot of people apply, but then once you start having to like pay for your tuition, a lot of people kind of drop out. I would just recommend applying early if you're thinking that you want to do it. I don't really think it's going to be an issue if your grades are okay. Were you nervous to do a CNN interview? So I got asked by a reporter from CNN if I wanted to do an interview on coronavirus and like how it affected my voyage on semester at sea. So I just had to send in like a video of me talking about what was going on. This was when we still weren't really sure what was happening and we were like in the middle of the ocean and didn't know where we were gonna go next, and we didn't know when we were getting off. Yeah, so I just had to take a video of myself like talking about it, and then she used some clips from my YouTube videos. I wasn't really like nervous about it. It was kind of cool saying that I got on CNN. They did spell my name wrong though. Like in the credits they said my name was Chasin instead of Cashin, but they fixed it for like the actual CNN website. My friends were sending me screenshots like, oh, okay, Alexa Chasin. It was kind of funny. It didn't really matter that much. How does the Wi-Fi work, and can you FaceTime? So everyone gets a certain amount of Wi-Fi allowed to them per day. You have like a code with, I think it's your email for semester at sea, and then you have a password and you get a certain amount a day. It works out to about like 7 minutes. Really, it's a certain number of megabytes. So if you use things like Instagram that take up a lot of data, your Wi-Fi runs out in like 2 seconds. Like you could post an Instagram picture and it'll upload, and then right when it uploads, it's like, you're out of Wi-Fi for today. Some people would FaceTime because you could buy Wi-Fi. It's really expensive. I think it's like $600 for unlimited Wi-Fi. I personally don't think that's worth it because it's really nice having everyone not be on their phones because you're constantly like interacting with everyone and hanging out and no one's ever on their phone. WhatsApp audio doesn't take up a lot of data. Like, you can call people on WhatsApp, so that's kind of a little hack. There were days that I didn't even like use my 7 minutes because you honestly just like forget to look at your phone. How hard is the schoolwork compared to your college? I'm an accounting major at my school and the classes are like incredibly difficult. Like, I will not leave the library for like days and days and days before my test. There aren't any like accounting classes or anything like that offered on the ship, so I took more like general business classes, which I did find easier than like my regular accounting classes. It also just kind of depends on your teacher and the class. You honestly don't really know how difficult your class is going to be until you get there on the first day because there's not really like a semester at sea rate my professor or anything. I had some classes that I found were pretty easy and straightforward, and then I had some classes that I felt were pretty difficult, so it kind of just like depends. What's something you didn't pack but wish you did? I wish I'd brought cuter clothes. I feel like I just went the very like practical route, and then I got on the ship and everyone was like looking really cute all the time and wearing all these fun like pants and flowy shirts and cute sweaters, and I was just like, oh, I did not get that memo. Also, in country, you're gonna want to look cute because it's like fun to dress up. Is it better to stack all your classes on one day? So on semester at sea, there's A day and B day. You don't have weekends because your weekends are like when you're in port and you don't have class. So when you're on the ship, you have class every day unless it's like a study day or something. Global studies, everyone on the ship has to take, and it's every single day. But I put all of my other classes on B days, or was it A days? I honestly don't even remember. Which I really liked, but looking back, I kind of wish that I had just put more of my classes in the morning and then had all the afternoons free, because it was kind of a bummer if it was a really nice day outside and like everyone was out and you had to go to class and like you couldn't go to the pool or anything. What was your favorite ship tivity during long stretches at sea? We played a lot of cards, we watched a lot of movies, we went to the pool a lot. We would kind of like explore the ship and like run around the ship. My friends made dance club, so I was a member of dance club. We would hang out in people's rooms a lot and just hang out and like talk. I read a lot. Definitely recommend if you have a Kindle or something, bring your Kindle and download books before you go on because it's such a pain to try and download them with the ship Wi-Fi. Like, it literally doesn't work. I would journal a lot. Journaling is really popular. My friends and I would play Salad Bowl, which is like this intense game of charades. I actually really liked days when you were on the ship and everyone just didn't really have anything to do and you were kind of just like finding stuff to do. How do field programs and field classes work? So everyone has to take global studies, and then typically you would take 3 other classes other than that, so that makes up 12 credit hours. And for each one of your 3 other classes that you take, you have a field class, which is mandatory. It's 20% of your grade in every class, and it's where one day in country for that class, for the whole day, you go with your class and your professor and do something. So like for my marketing class, we went to a Buddhist theme park in Vietnam, and then we went to a water park. We were supposed to go to Disneyland in Shanghai, but obviously we didn't go to China, so we couldn't do that. I was supposed to do stuff in Ghana and Cape Town for my other 2 classes, but since we had to leave early, I didn't get to do those, so now we're doing like online field class. The night before you have a field class, you have to be back on the ship at midnight, so they know that in the morning you'll be like up and ready to go with your class. Normally you'll have to write an essay or something afterwards about your experience and like what you learned on the field class. And then field programs are through semester at sea that you pay for. You pay up front. So semester at sea on field programs handles everything. They figure out your lodging and your transportation and your tours and what you're gonna do. So it's basically so you don't really have to worry about anything and plan anything when you're in port. It kind of just depends. Some people really like doing field programs because they don't want to have to like worry about planning anything. I personally didn't really have any field programs. I only signed up for 1 overnight field program. I liked not having overnight field programs because you plan with your friends and then you and your friends can just go and do whatever, and then all the semester at sea people always just like end up doing the exact same thing, and everyone flies to this city at the same day, and then everyone would end up staying in the same hotel and you're with like 60 other semester at sea people. I had a friend who signed up for overnight field programs in like every single port, and then she ended up like canceling all of them because she wanted to be with everyone, but then you only get half your money back if you cancel. So I would recommend doing field programs in China and India because it's really hard to get around by yourself apparently in those places, and it's like not as safe. They are kind of expensive, like the India field program that I wanted to do but it filled up. I think it was like $2,000, so they can be kind of expensive, but literally everything is paid for. How did you plan for in-country travel? So like, did you plan at home or did you plan on the ship? I didn't plan anything at home. Kind of what happens is you're on the ship, you make your friends, and then at some point someone will say like, oh, we should probably start planning Japan. And then everyone like talks on the ship about, oh, what are you doing? We're going to Tokyo the first 2 days. Like in Japan, the majority of people did like Tokyo for the first 2 nights and then Kyoto for the next 2 nights. So everywhere you went, you would run into people. Like you'd be at a random temple and you would run into like 30 other semester at sea people. I'm not a huge planner. Like I would kind of like let my friends plan and then I'd just be like, sign me up, like I'll just Venmo you. It's kind of hard to plan like before the voyage because you're going to want to do what your friends are doing. You'll hear about something that you think is cool from someone that you didn't even know about before. I wouldn't like recommend trying to book anything or plan things like before you get on the ship. There are 4 computers on the ship that actually do have internet access and you can sign up for like time slots to use them. And so that's what we would do when we were booking like plane tickets or hotels or anything like that. We would use one of those computers. What's one unexpected thing that you liked? I really liked the rocking of the ship. It's kind of hard for me to sleep now that I'm not like rocking back and forth because I got so used to it. The first couple days it was pretty hard to get used to, and we had the activities fair where everyone went to the union and was like signing up for different clubs and stuff. And it was so rocky that night. Like literally people were like falling over and things were falling off the tables. And so eventually they just like canceled the activities fair and they're like, we're gonna do it later. But I really liked the rocking of the ship and I thought it was kind of fun. So I missed that. And I didn't think that that was gonna be something that I would like. Berlin or Lido. So Berlin and Lido were the 2 dining halls on the ship. So here's the thing. So Berlin, the ambiance is better because it's just homier and it's bigger and there's bigger tables. So you can get like a huge group of people to all sit together. But Lido, you can sit outside. We would always do Berlin for breakfast, Lido for lunch, and then kind of either or for dinner. I feel like it's like usually Berlin. If the weather was really nice, it was Lido because you could sit outside, and sometimes dinner would be during the sunset, so you could literally sit outside and look out over the ocean and see the sun setting. I really liked eating outside, so if the weather was nice, we'd usually go to Lido. But if the weather wasn't good, we would go to Berlin. Lido has better coffee, but Berlin is closer to your room, so you don't have to walk as far. So it kind of just like depends. It depended on the day. What semester are you going to do semester at sea again? Because I am planning on doing semester at sea again. Like I said, we got less than half of our ports. I didn't get to see like the Taj Mahal. I didn't get to see China. I didn't get to go to Morocco. I had a homestay in a village in Ghana that I was really excited about that I didn't get to do because we couldn't go to Ghana. We actually get a pretty significant discount on our next voyage if you did my semester. Our voyage was just so like messed up because of coronavirus. If you do a spring voyage, you get $10,000 off your tuition, and if you do a fall voyage, you get $15,000 off your tuition, which is a lot. Like that is really, really nice that they gave us that discount. I think I'm gonna do fall of 2021. That's the one that I applied for. I would do it as a postgraduate student, so next year is my senior year of college, and then I would do it that fall. And I think a lot of my friends are gonna do it that semester too, so it's gonna be super fun. What are some preparation tips for semester at sea? Take a longer time to pack than I did. I literally packed for semester at sea like the night before, which was the worst thing to do. I also read this very misleading blog when I was packing. I just found this blog online of this girl saying everything that she brought, and she was saying like only bring like 2, maybe 3 swimsuits, 1 to 2 pairs of jeans. She was very conservative with like her clothing. Everyone overpacks, like don't overpack, you're barely gonna need any clothes, which was so not true. Like I did not pack enough clothes at all. I had to like buy a bunch of clothes in the countries. Like I didn't realize how much stuff I needed. So I would just take a lot more time to pack than I did because I definitely like messed up on that one. Did you go on semester at sea with people you knew? I actually didn't. I like barely knew 2 people from my school that were doing it, but I didn't know them well at all. And I just went in basically like by myself and just made friends on the trip, which is pretty much what like everyone does. Not a lot of people go with their friends, and if they do, they'll maybe go with like 1 friend. No one knows anyone. Everyone wants to make new friends. Like it's definitely not difficult to make new friends at all. So no, you don't need to know anyone when you go. I really didn't know anyone, and I made like the best friends ever. Did you learn any other languages? I didn't, except I do speak a little bit of French. My mom speaks French fluently, and like I can understand it and I can speak it. I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but je parle un peu de français. So in Mauritius, which is an island in Africa, that was like the main language spoken. There was French, and so I was having so much fun like speaking French with everyone, and they were all like, "You speak so well," and I was like, "Thanks." Did you have a sea bae? Okay, a sea bae is basically like your boyfriend or whatever, like on the ship. Like not even like your boyfriend, but it's like the person that you're kind of like with, like you're together on the ship. No, I didn't really like, there was never anyone that I was like, this is like my like guy and like we're officially like together. That was just like not a thing. I did have some friends that found people that they started dating on the ship. Two of my really good friends actually met like the first day of the voyage and just like fell in love, and now they're dating and they're really cute and they're gonna like do long distance in college. My friend Julia's parents met on semester at sea and got married. Could you drink when you were in port? So yeah, a lot of the countries that we go to actually have a lower drinking age than the US does. So yeah, you're allowed to drink in port as long as you don't like abuse it. Can you drink on the ship? So yeah, we do have drink nights. I'd say it's probably like 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week, where you can have 2 glasses of wine. You're only allowed 2 because it's international waters, so technically like the captain can make the rules. So if you're 18, you could drink on the ship. I guess like in the past, like years and years ago, they didn't have the 2 drink policy and people would get like really drunk and like fall off the ship and stuff. And so that's why they were like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. Like it's only 2 drinks a night. How much did you end up spending in total? Homegirl, I don't even want to know, honestly. I didn't really think about how expensive like in-country travel was gonna be. It just adds up really fast because it's like, oh, there's a plane ticket here, the hotel for the night, and then, oh, you're going on this tour, and then, oh, there's an Uber. I tried to be pretty conscious about like how I was spending money, but sometimes you're in a situation you're just like, okay, whatever, I'll just pay it because I don't want to like deal with the hassle right now. Look at my cat. You can definitely make it as affordable or as expensive as you want. If you stay in youth hostels, they're literally like $15 a night. And I really like staying in youth hostels. I feel like a lot of times people are like, let's get like a huge house and like everyone can hang out. Every group ended up doing that. Like in Vietnam, there was like so many of us that ended up with these like big houses on the beach in Vietnam. And then everyone would just end up going to like one house every night and hanging out there. Like it would have been so much cheaper if like every country, it was like a different group that got the big house and everyone else stayed in like cheap places and just came and like hung out with everyone. I think youth hostels are actually really fun. You can find really nice ones and they're designed for young traveling people. So like we stayed in the Vietnam backpackers hostel in Hanoi and there were a bunch of Australian travelers there that we ended up like hanging out with while we were there. So I really like youth hostels because a lot of times they're kind of like in the middle of the city and you meet people from all over. A lot of times people would get Airbnbs, hotel rooms. What was something you weren't expecting? I wasn't expecting to become as good of friends with all of the workers on the ship as I did. If you're hanging out at the pool bar all the time, you just get kind of close with the pool bar people. Same with the people who worked in the dining halls. I became friends with them and they were all just like so sweet. I miss them a lot. So that was something that I didn't really like think about before I went on the ship, but you're all living together, so you get like really close with all the people that work on the ship too. I miss my cabin steward too. Did your credits transfer? So yeah, to my school, all of my credits transferred. There was like a certain process I had to go through at my school. So every school is different. I would just talk to your advisor. Do you have any advice for making friends? So I would say the first couple weeks on the ship, you're gonna be really tired, especially the first 2 weeks. You're basically just gonna want to sleep all the time. You're not used to the rocking yet, and the rocking makes you really tired, like you would be surprised. But you really need to like fight the urge to be in your room and go to sleep because that's kind of the time that everyone is making friends. I was kind of just always out and about. Really don't be scared to just walk up to people and literally introduce yourself because no one knows anyone either. Like for the first 2 weeks, people kind of walk around in groups of 2 and it's just them and their roommate because it's like the only people that they know. That's how I made some of my best friends on the ship, was literally just sitting down with them at lunch and being like, hey, can I sit here? For the first week, I think I sat with a different person like every day for every meal, and I made a lot of my friends that way. And I promise it's like not weird. Try and like be as social as you can, especially at the beginning. There will be groups of people playing games in Lido Terrace like every night. It can be kind of hard if you're introverted, but I would definitely say just be like really, really outgoing. Was it hard to find people to travel with? No, once again, it's just kind of like the friends you find, you all just end up traveling together. Did you go crazy being on a boat for that long, even with all the land stops? Were you claustrophobic? I'd say on a normal voyage, no. There like normally aren't a lot of long stretches where you're on the ship. On my voyage, there were like multiple stretches where we were on the ship for like 2 weeks because we kept having to like skip ports and like change route, denied access to this country. So there were definitely a few times where I was like, I'm like going crazy. But I think that was just because my voyage was very unique. If anything, I feel like on a normal voyage, you would want more time on the ship in between ports because it's like you're in this country for 6 days and you're on the ship for literally 2 days and then boom, you're in this country. Are there any classes for nursing? Okay, I got a lot of like specific questions on like, I'm pre-med, are there these classes? Like, I'm nursing, can I do clinicals? I don't know. I had a lot of friends that were like pre-pharmacy, like pre-med, like I'm an accounting major, like very specific majors. So that's something that I would talk to semester at sea and your advisor like directly about. What was your favorite country that you went to? I honestly kind of want to say Japan. I just thrived in Japan. I don't know what it was. I loved everything about Japan. I'm so obsessed with Tokyo. But also, I loved Vietnam. Like, Vietnam was so fun, and we had 2 weeks there. So we really got to know Vietnam. I feel like I saw, like, the whole country. But also, like, Mauritius was so fun. But then also, Cape Town was awesome. But Cape Town was, like, had this underlying, like, kind of, like, sad, because it was kind of, like, another one bites the dust. Like, slowly, like, this person would fly home, and then this person would fly home, and our friend group was, like, getting smaller and smaller. So I feel like I would have enjoyed Cape Town even more if that had not have been the case, because there were definitely a lot of like tears and this is the last time we're all gonna be together. So that was kind of a bummer. Did you guys end up earning credits? And yes, we did. We're getting full credit. We're finishing everything online. Do you feel like your voyage was ruined or just different? I would say just different. I mean, yes, it definitely was really disappointing that we didn't get to go to a lot of the places. Like, obviously, I wish that that wasn't the case, and I wish we had been able to do everything that we were supposed to. I mean, it was the best three months of my life, even though literally nothing went according to plan. I think a lot of it was, like, the friendships that I made, and then the countries that we did get to see were, like, so incredible. And, like, obviously, I wish that it hadn't have, like, turned out the way that it did. But there's really nothing we can do about it, and I'm still like so happy that I went, and I'm doing it again. So round 2, let's hope it goes better this time. Was it scary doing it during coronavirus? Honestly, yeah, it was scary. I talked about this once again in the video that I did just about sailing during coronavirus. There was a lot of almost like mass hysteria almost on the ship, where people would be like, we're gonna get quarantined and like we're not gonna get let back into the US, and like someone on the ship probably has corona. I got asked if some people actually did like leave early, and yeah, a couple people got off in Mauritius and flew home, and like they didn't get any credit or anything, but they were like, I'm just leaving. So yeah, it definitely was, I mean, it was like scary. Is it hard to eat healthy on the ship? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, on semester at sea, you just kind of gotta throw your like diet regimen out the window, because the ship food, it's basically like dining hall food. A lot of pasta. I had pasta like so much. A lot of bread rolls, a lot of soup, maybe some fish, some chicken. And then in some of the countries you go to, they kind of advise like don't really eat a lot of like the vegetables, like make sure that they're really well cooked, because sometimes it's not like totally safe. Yeah, it is hard to eat healthy. Like I definitely put on some weight on semester at sea, but I mean, it's worth it. Like you can come home and continue to eat healthy afterwards, but just take like a 3-4 month break from being healthy, because it's just like not gonna happen. Is it difficult for a shy person to adapt or fit in? I don't really think so. There were a lot of people on the ship that were shy, and I mean, they still like made friends. How did you convince your parents to let you do semester at sea? So my cousin actually did it when I was 7, and literally ever since I was 7, I said like, I'm gonna do semester at sea. My mom loves to travel. I feel like that's kind of where I get it from. She's really into traveling. So she was always like really encouraging of me to do it and was like excited for me to do it. So I didn't really like have to do a lot of convincing. Like if you're trying to convince your parents, I would apply to scholarships so it can hopefully be a little bit cheaper, and then I would do kind of all the work yourself, like figure out your classes, like figure out the application, like do those things kind of yourself. And so really all your parents have to do is like say yes. Did you get homesick, and how did you manage it? So I go to school out of state anyways. Like I'm from Boise, Idaho, but I go to school at the University of Georgia, which is literally like completely across the country. Like I wouldn't have been home anyways, even if I hadn't have done semester at sea. If anything, I got like college sick, but I feel like that's just part of life. Like sometimes in life you move, you want to experience new things. It's a really good way to grow. I think travel is like really important. If you're able to do it, I think it's something you should do. So homesickness is just kind of a part of life, and it's something that you'll learn to combat. I would say try and make a routine routine and try and kind of like immerse yourself in what's currently going on. Like, don't let yourself just think about like home all the time. One day you'll look back on your time on semester at sea and be like, that was so amazing. And if you weren't really present the whole time, you'll kind of like regret it a little bit. They also have a lot of resources for homesickness on the ship too. They have like counselors on the ship. They gave out little flyers, like pamphlets of, are you feeling homesick? Like, here's ways that we can help. Why did you do semester at sea over other abroad programs? The reason that I did semester at sea is because I feel like I wanted to see so many different places, and I didn't really want to pick one place to study abroad. And semester at sea kind of lets you see, it kind of lets you visit a bunch of different places. Would you recommend doing semester at sea? Yes, I definitely would recommend it. It was like the best thing I've ever done, and I'm literally doing it again. What country were you most upset to miss? So probably India. I was so excited for India, man. I'm sad, but the next voyage goes there, so hopefully it'll happen this time. What does it mean to be a student vlogger? What are the requirements, and is it cheaper? I don't really know. I'd never made a vlog until semester at sea. I'm not like in collaboration with semester at sea. I just like vlogged my experience. That's something I might want to apply for if I do semester at sea again, honestly. Maybe I could be like a student vlogger or something. I think that'd be fun. So I think those are all the questions that I had written down, and I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm probably going to end it here, but thank you so much for watching. I hope that answered any of your questions that you had about semester at sea. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. The best way to probably ask me questions is like through my Instagram. It's just Alexa Cash, and it's just my name. I also got asked a lot if I was going to continue making like YouTube videos now that I'm not doing semester at sea right now. And yeah, I think I am. I actually really like making videos. If you guys have anything specific that you want to see or that you want me to do, please let me know, because I'm definitely new to this whole thing. But yeah, if you like me and you like these videos, like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, all that jazz. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Say bye. Bye.